It was the Monday Night Raw go-home show before Night of Champions, and the only thing this show did was make you want to go home, make you want to stay home, and make you never watch wrestling again. Welcome back, guys, to the channel, Fog Wrestling. I said in the preview, this show would suck. The preview looked terrible. I didn't have any hope for this show, and this show did not disappoint me. I thought it would suck, and it did suck, so I am not a liar. I was telling the bloody truth. This, from start to finish, was a horrible show. Now, we did get Brock Lesnar a couple of times, and there was one moment where I did genuinely actually laugh, but other than that, a lot of it was garbage. I mean, most of it was garbage. A garbage main event, garbage matches, a garbage opening match, a generic, you could predict everything, what was going to happen, contract signing, and then we had just Brock basically whoop Cody Rhodes' ass for a bit as well. So it wasn't great, guys. We're going to go through it here from start to finish, but I mean, wrestling is in a really, really bad way at the moment, man. Wrestling absolutely sucks right now. So, we start Raw, and they show us Cody Rhodes arriving at the arena in the same moments ago. So straight away, you know this isn't live, this has already happened, this is pre-taped, and it's just Brock Lesnar beating up Cody Rhodes, throws him about backstage, and then while Cody Rhodes is against like one of those steel shutters, Brock gets like a, I don't know, it looks like a beer keg or something, or a gas canister or something, and he wings it off Cody Rhodes' arm, and Cody Rhodes is rolling about on the arm, screaming in pain. Pete will come, break it up, and that's it. I thought that was all we're going to get with Brock, so at least we see Brock again throughout the show, but I mean, the start was okay. But one little thing that I've got a problem with, why say moments ago? Why not just portray this as if it's happening live? You know, I just think when something's happening live, it just you're more into it, you know, you feel more like anything could fucking happen. When it's moments ago, you know it's already happened, and it just doesn't have that same like sort of shock factor, in my opinion. It doesn't feel like you're in the moment. It feels like you're literally watching a replay, and that's technically what you are watching. I mean, that's probably the only thing I would say against this, but it was an okay start to the show. Then Paul Heyman comes out, cuts a generic, oh, the undisputed championship tag team match. This is not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Roman Reigns is going to win. Who fucking cares, honestly? Who cares? Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn walk out. Paul Heyman waddles off to the back. They cut a little promo, boring promo. Imperium then come out. I don't know why Imperium are coming out. We've already seen the Jobbers, Kaiser and Giovanni get their ass whooped. Why do we need to see this again? But Gunther's with them this time, so maybe, you know, they've got backup. Maybe they can do anything. But Matt Riddle comes, makes the save, 3-on-3, and I guess Matt Riddle is going to be the tag team partner tonight. Now, apparently it was supposed to be Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre retweeted he was going to be the 6th man, or else he was just trolling people. I don't know, but apparently they changed this Raw up at the last minute, so maybe it was supposed to be Drew and they went with Matt Riddle. Either way, it's not a great spot, is it? To be the 6th man, to team up with the tag champs to take on Imperium. It's hardly like a, you know, it's not like a WrestleMania main event, this. It's Imperium lose every fucking single week, so honestly, who cares? But we get this match later on tonight. We then move on to Ricochet versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, first of all, his theme song sucks, and he sucks. This is just a guy that is, I mean, let's be honest, he's a big fat bastard, but there's nothing intimidating about Bronson Reed. Normally, big guys can be intimidating, but I look at Bronson Reed and I just do not see the fear factor. I do not see him being scary. I do not see him being intimidating. I think the only way he would be intimidating is if he walked into the kitchen of McDonald's and he had all the fucking food that he could eat. Then that's pretty intimidating, especially if you're the manager and that food bill's going to come out of your wage and you are probably shitting yourself. But in terms of a wrestler, in terms of being a big physical guy, I just don't see it. He doesn't even work like a big dude. And I think a lot of these wrestlers today, they just don't even know how to work their size or whatever. You see big guys like Braun Strowman trying to do fucking like moves that you'd expect, I don't know, cruiserweights to do. And it's like, Braun, no, you're supposed to be a fucking monster. Work like a monster, for God's sake. But we just don't see that. You know, it's dumb. It's dumb. We see Bronson Reed trying to do big moves and trying to be agile. I mean, fuck that. But I mean, let's look at big guys in the history of wrestling. Even if we look at like the last 20 years, because I know back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, everyone was big guys. But if you look at big guys that have just wrestled let's say in the last 20 years, you've got Umaga, Big Daddy V, the Great Khali, Mark Henry, Kane. You know, these are guys that they were intimidating. They had the fucking fear factor, the way they walked, the way they moved, the way they looked, the way they wrestled. But Bronson Reed, he comes out with a theme song that just doesn't suit him. And he's got this singlet on, but he just looks like, he doesn't look different, you know, he just looks like an overweight Samoan. He looks like he would fit into the bloodline. That's what he looks like. He doesn't look like a guy that is a monster. He just looks like someone who's fat, honestly. He beats Ricochet. So what? Why was Ricochet not teaming with Braun Strowman tonight? I do not know, and I do not care. Alright, Apollo Crews got a backstage interview, and then Dominic and Rhea Ripley just came in and interrupted him. Then Crews was like, you know, this is my interview, and it leads to a match tonight. Wasn't very good. We then get part 3 of Corey Groves' sit-down interview with Seth. We'll just cover part 3 and part 4. This whole thing sucked. Now, apparently Seth Rollins is away at the moment. He's filming a movie. But even if he was there, there's not much they could do, because AJ Styles is on SmackDown, so they can't even have these two get into like a rivalry or anything like that. They can't really build a feud because they're on different shows. And I just don't see the point. I mean, they created this belt because Roman Reigns has got the one on SmackDown, no one can beat him, and he's never there to defend it. And now they're creating a belt for Raw, and it looks like they're going to give it to a guy that is trying to transition into movies and isn't even there to build up the feud, to build up the anticipation, to build up anything for the first title match for this new title. So it's like, why are they putting on Seth Rollins, man? I think they should be putting on a guy that's actually going to be there for the foreseeable future. A guy that's going to turn up week in, week out. I don't think Seth Rollins is the right man to be the new champion. I don't think AJ Styles is the right man either. But if I had to pick between one of the two, I mean, I would give it to Styles, but now you've got the problem where Styles is on SmackDown. So if Styles does win it, then what happens? Does the belt go to SmackDown? Does AJ go to Raw? Does AJ have sort of like free agent status where he can turn up on either show? The whole thing's a mess. So yeah, I think Seth Rollins will win it, but I don't think he's the right man to win it. But you know what? We'll see. Up next, we've got Zoe Stark versus Candice LeRae. Honestly, I mean, who cares? Zoe Stark wins. What a fucking joke this is. Nikki Cross distracted her. So yeah, that's what happened. Lesnar then is backstage. You know, Ali's cutting a promo saying he's going to beat Gunther at Night of Champions. And then Brock Lesnar comes through. He comes through the back, the gorilla position, and Brock Lesnar's about to walk out to the crowd. He's about to walk out to the ring, and Brock Lesnar just turns around randomly and looks at Ali and says, "Get alive, kid." I mean, what? Oh man, this was funny. It didn't make any sense. I don't fucking see what the point of it was. I mean, we've got this Ali guy who's supposed to be facing Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. This title has been talked up as if, oh, Gunther's brought this title back to its, you know, prestige of the 90s and 80s, and now the guy that is challenging for it, Brock Lesnar, just turned around and told him to get a life, kid. I mean, what the fuck was this? I don't know, but it was funny, so I can't deny that. Lesnar then comes out, asks the crowd, what do you want to talk about? Obviously ripping off Cody Rhodes, says that Cody Rhodes isn't here tonight, isn't going to be at Night of Champions. Lesnar offers anyone an open challenge for Night of Champions. All they have to do is come out and face him in this ring right here, right now. Cody Rhodes comes out, his arms in a like sling. Him and Lesnar get a brawl. Lesnar locks on the Kimura lock, and then that's pretty much it. And Corey Graves is like, oh, I just think Brock Lesnar broke his arm. Like, why do they always do that? Every time Brock locks this move in, it's always, I think he just broke his arm. Can't Brock do this without it resulting in an arm break? Brock didn't even do like a sudden movement to make it look like he broke his arm. Brock just had this move in. The way Brock applied this move, it was like Brock was toying with Cody Rhodes. It was like, I've got you in this hold, I'm hurting you right now, there's nothing you could do about it. But in the past, when they've wanted to portray Brock as breaking an arm, they've had Brock do this like sudden movement where he would just like move the arm back suddenly, and it does kind of look like it snapped. But he didn't do that here. Yeah, Corey Graves is like, oh, I think he just broke his arm. And it's like, no, he did not. Why the fuck are you lying? Why are you lying, you little bitch? That's what I think of Corey Graves. But anyway, this segment, I guess, was alright. Then we got the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Look, what can you say? The Viking Raiders lost. I mean, This is a team that they spent about it legit. Now, I know one of them got injured and they were off screen for a bit, but they spent like about a year and a half, no joke, a year and a half of this team being undefeated, being dominant. This team beat everybody SmackDown had to offer, apart from the Usos. Now, obviously, they couldn't beat the Usos because the Usos were part of the bloodline and on this, big winning streak. But the Viking Raiders were this dominant team that could not lose, and they beat everybody. But they had one loss. I believe it might have been to Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Since that defeat, they've not been able to keep momentum. They've not been able to keep anything. They've not been able to keep their shoulders off the mat because they lose every single match now. And it's like, what was the point? Why did they build this team up for like 18 fucking months just for them to be jobbers? And again, it's something, I'm not saying I like the Viking Raiders, I'm not saying I wanted them to be champs, but you do feel like they were trying to keep this team strong until the Usos lost the belts, and then maybe the Viking Raiders could come in, but they just waited too long. Unfortunately, the Viking Raiders have been screwed because the Usos just held the belts for way, way too long. The Viking Raiders never got their chance, and now looking at it, they might never get a chance because, I mean, just their spot on the card at the moment, it's not impressive, is it? When you're losing to Alpha Academy, when you're getting beat up by Chad Gable, that is when you know you are in trouble. Straight after this, we got Nakamura, Finn Balor. Damian Priest came out, caused a distraction. Finn Balor beats Nakamura. Who cares? Two overrated bastards. So go back to Japan, man. Then we got Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville. I mean, who cares? Again, Raquel Rodriguez wins. I actually praised Chelsea Green when she first came back to WWE. I thought the character was good, but they do what they always do, guys. As soon as they throw you in a tag team, you're fucked. If they put you in a tag team, that's basically them saying, you're not important enough as a singles wrestler, so we're going to share your TV time with someone else who isn't as important enough, and you're fucked. That's what that is. If you're a star, they will keep you as an individual star. As soon as they start mixing you into tag teams with other jabronis, then you are screwed. You're going nowhere. And that's exactly what's happened with Chelsea Green. Just look at the timeline. As soon as Chelsea Green started teaming with Sonya Deville, she's went downhill. Massively went downhill. They've cut back on the promos they used to do, or they've cut back on the segments, they've cut back on just basic TV time that she gets now. Most of the time she just comes out and she's just standing at ringside doing nothing. Barely even visible. So, again, it is what it is. Even the extravagant outfits that she would wear, she's not wearing them anymore. It's just, it's nonsense, and I actually was enjoying the character, but of course, tag team wrestling, it kills everybody. And I mean, that's what I'm talking about with Liv Morgan. I say it with Liv Morgan all the time. It's like they tried to push her as a top star, and then they put her in this tag team with Raquel Rodriguez, and she's sitting there thinking she's probably doing good at the moment because she was tag team champs. I mean, no. When they stick you in a tag team, that means they have fuck all for you. Being put in a tag, unless you're an actual tag team, being stuck in a tag team is not a good thing. There's like only a couple of times where tag teams get formed and it actually helps them. Like let's say the two-man power trip. They came together for a reason, so they could dominate, so they could take over the WWE. But with these other tag teams, it's literally, man, we don't have much for you. We don't have much for you. Let's just stick these together and you can be a tag team. Two birds, one stone. It's garbage, guys. It is garbage. Shotzi Blackheart makes the save. Speaking of garbage, worst wrestler. Fucking, oh man, worst wrestler on the roster for sure. We then get Cody Rhodes backstage. Adam Pearce isn't allowing anyone into his locker room. Apparently, Pearce is doing this. They're doing this contract signing tonight, but Pearce says there's going to be a no-touchy policy, so Trish Stratus can't touch Becky Lynch. So then we go to the contract signing. It's Becky Lynch. It's Trish Stratus. And again, I knew they had to do this shoot thing where they have to break kayfabe and shoot legit. And I just do not like these promos. Trish tells Becky, "I actually got over. I've been number one when I left, and I'm always number one when I came back. And I didn't need to break my nose to make it." And then Becky says, "I'm embarrassed by some of the things you've done. You wouldn't see me crawling around barking like a dog, but when I whoop you at Night of Champions, you're going to be doing more than barking. Woof woof." And it's like, what is it with these shoot promos? All Trish has to say is this. Trish can just own Becky Lynch with this. Trish can say, "Look, I actually got over. I actually earned main event in Raw. Whereas the only reason you main event, the only reason you're pushed to the top is because they're trying to push gender politics and they're trying to push women as equals, as 50-50, as men in this current generation in the world. That's all Trish has to say. Trish earned her spot. Trish was number 1 in the women's division and she did earn that Raw main event. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, all these people get it. It's because they have to push this fake women's revolution and they have to try and pretend that women and men are equal. And we know we're not. We know we're not. And if, let's be real, Becky Lynch isn't a main eventer. Charlotte Flair's not a main eventer. In no world, back in like, if they came around 10 years earlier, they would not be main eventing shows. They wouldn't be. But of course, it's 2023 now. We've got to push feminism, we've got to push equality, we've got to push this women's movement, this women's rights, and anything a man can do, a woman can do. That's the kind of world we live in now, but we know that's not true. But I think Becky Lynch, it's rich her coming out with all this shite when she's just benefited from being in an era where you have to push women to the same level as you push men. So, yeah, there you go. Trish could have like literally owned her right there. Trish pushes over the announce table, and that's it, she walks off. I mean, not great. I don't really like these, shoot promos, but it is what it is. Then we got Apollo Crews versus Dominic Mysterio. It's not 619, it's Dominic, and Dominic is... I mean, I don't mind Dominic. It was an okay match. Rhea Ripley pushes Apollo Crews into the ring post. This causes Dominic to hit a frog splash, and he gets the win. 1, 2, 3. So, I mean, nice wee win for Dom. I guess we'll see what happens, but I don't mind Dom, so it is what it is. And then we move into the main event, guys. Imperium versus Matt Riddle and the tag champs, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And of course, the tag champs and Riddle win. Haluva kick, Swanton on Finchy. 1, 2, 3. Imperium lose again. And why the fuck is... let's be real, right? Why is... I actually don't get. Honestly... Like, why is Imperium losing all the time, and why is Gunther just accepting it? Why is this guy that's been on this massive title run as the IC champ, no one can beat him, but every time he teams up with these two fucking bums, he loses? Why doesn't he just cut them? Why doesn't he just be like, right, get out of here, you're not good enough? Why doesn't he bring someone else in? Why doesn't he form a new team or add a new member to the stable? I mean, it makes zero sense to me why this guy that says the ring is sacred, yet he's happy to accept loss after loss after loss by Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Finchy. Does that make any sense? No, it does not. It does not. And another thing that doesn't make any sense, this 6-man tag, why wasn't Ali the 6th person? Why was it Riddle? If Ali's facing Gunther at Night of Champions, wouldn't it have made sense for Ali to be in this match? But again, WWE guys, doesn't make sense. So who gives a shit what makes sense and what doesn't? Fuck Ali. But according to Brock Lesnar, he's not important anyway. We then see Cody Rhodes in the locker room. He tells someone he doesn't need any help, but there's a knock, and in comes Triple H. Triple H's like, hey Cody, you don't need to prove how tough you are. We've seen that torn pec against Seth Rollins, buddy. I'm the game. You're the game. But at Night of Champions, we don't have to play a game. Because you've got a sore arm. And Brock Lesnar broke my arm too. And Cody Rhodes basically tells Trips, look, I'm okay, I don't need to see a doctor. Triple H says you're scared. Cody's like, what do you mean I'm scared? Triple H tells him, you're scared that if a doctor comes in here, he'll see your arm and he will call off the match at Night of Champions. Cody says, like, that doesn't need to happen. I'm going to face him. I'm not going to be a little bitch. Triple H says that, look at what happened the last time you fought when you were injured. You had to take a year on the shelf. Cody admits that year was terrible, but it's not going to happen again. Cody says he'd rather go out and, get injured fighting than not fight at all. Triple H then pats him on the back and basically walks off, and that's it then. That's it, the final Raw of WWE before WWE Night of Champions goes off the air with Triple H patting Cody on the back. I thought it would have been nicer if Triple H like, here brother, take this, and he gives him like a sledgehammer, That would have been pretty cool, but that didn't happen. So we'll see, guys, we'll see what happens. I mean, Brock Lesnar just telling Ali, get a life, kid. It was funny, it made me laugh. But overall, I mean, this show wasn't very good. In fact, it sucked. So we'll see. I'll give it the Brock Lesnar stuff was not bad. I mean, the Trish Becky promo wasn't the worst thing. It was just match fucking heavy, guys. This was extremely match heavy. And anytime we broke up the match stuff, it was just to get Seth Rollins cutting a fucking taped interview. Who wants that? Who the hell wants that? Nobody. I'll give it a 2 out of 10. A 2 out of 10. It wasn't great. yeah, 2 out of 10 is the best I can do, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. NXT tonight, so yeah, I'm going to be making some more vids over the next few days as well. Probably going to do my top 10 WWE wrestlers, my top 10 NXT wrestlers, and my top 10 SmackDown wrestlers, because it's been a while since I did a top 10 vid, and obviously now with the draft and whatever, we've got different people on different shows, things are a little bit mixed up, so I think it would be interesting for me now to go through my top 10s on each brand. And don't get me wrong, it'll be difficult to find 10 people on each brand that I like, but I will try my best. That's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Been Fog Wrestling. Till then though, peace.